start button. And we should be live. So what's up? This was a spontaneous stream. I just want to test to see how another game works. Because Soul Calibur 6 played flawlessly and the video quality was amazing. So I'm going to try Hellblade. Definitely a little more taxing on the old PC. Game on my screen seems to be 60 frames per second. I forgot to turn on the overlay. This is a cinematic here, so, or it's about to be. Got to the end of this on the Switch version, and I missed one fucking lore rune, or what is it? Lore stone. But it definitely is an enjoyable experience. I really like it. Switch version, though, is... Don't play it after playing Luigi's Mansion. That's all I'll say, because your eyes will be like, what the fuck? Some strained-ass eyes, even on docked mode. What's up, Laker Link? Tell me, is the audio or the video playing smooth, and is the audio loud or quiet? If you would, please. Appreciate that. But happy Thanksgiving. I'm stuffed. Every year I look forward to my mom's stuffing. So that was her mom's stuffing, and I have it once a year. It's amazing. Some turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, and some pumpkin pie. But Laker Link, if you could just comment real quick. Audio's good, video's good. All right. Stream says it's excellent. And something about this new beta YouTube studio seems to play way better streaming-wise versus the old version, which I couldn't play anything really other than maybe Rocket League. So you can't skip the cinematics in this game, which is a little bit annoying. When you're on your third playthrough, and some of these are 4 or 5 minutes. You're about to eat. Yeah, we ate at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Watch my Detroit Lions blow another fourth quarter lead. And so yeah, I got Friday off, and then the weekend I have a game that I purchased. I'm gonna pick up at Best Buy tomorrow for $15. It'll be my next 2019 game that I'm going to play. I'm going to keep it a secret unless I hate it, then I'll talk about it right away. Otherwise, if I like it and it makes my top 5, I'm going to keep it a secret. So I'm going to start that tomorrow night. The Lions, I mean, their rookie quarterback did enough to win. Their defense can't stop anybody. Mitchell Trubisky looks like a MVP candidate every time he plays the Lions. Matt Patricia defense. So yeah, and if you haven't played this game, this is about just over between a third. I'd say about a third of the way through the game. And yeah, she's got a cut, and she's going to cauterize the wound. But it's an interesting story. Lots of what's the Norse mythology based on, and the combat's actually really fun. It's really cool. I mean, it's not a ton of depth. There's not like a shit ton of depth, but I find it just the right amount. They could add just maybe a few more layers to the combat and make another game like it. I'd be completely happy with that. But other than that, you know, we got Game Awards. I just can't get over the ridiculousness of Death Stranding. There was a tweet. I think it was sponsored by one of the sponsors. I think Subway. Like, how many awards will Death Stranding win? 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, or 7 to 8? And it's like 0 wasn't even an option. It's like Like, it can't win 9 because it can't win. Maybe Jeff Keighley will make best performance go to both the Death Stranding actors. But I'm gonna do a Juice Opinions like right before the Game Awards. I'm gonna go through and predict what Death Stranding's gonna win and how many awards and all that. And I want it to be on record because I think it's. I'll just say right now, Kojima will win Best Director. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care. Jeff Keighley can swear on the Bible that he's not involved. That game's gonna win, or Kojima's at the very least is gonna win for Best Director. So now we get to take over. And it's like it's not a action. This is not an action game. It's a slower paced adventure game. I've heard people say it's a walking simulator, but it's environmental kind of puzzles. They're all kind of different. I'll make sure I don't miss a lore stone. And she's injured, so she's slower than normal right now. But there's these hidden. They're called lore stones, and it's this guy Druth, and he basically just tells you Norse mythology. He tells you a story. So each area chapter is a different story, and you got to find. Once I get to it, you'll be able to see. It says 6 people watching. Anybody got any questions? Any comments? What's up, Terrell? Happy Turkey Day. Did you eat yet? I ate at 1 o'clock, 1:30, I guess, and I'm good for the rest of the day. Terrell picked up some games, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and forget the other one. Right now, if you got a PS4, God of War, Horizon, all those games are $10 at Best Buy and on the eShop. No, I don't have Game Pass. This is off Steam. I bought the game full price, $30. Bought it on Switch for $14, and as soon as the PS4 version drops enough, it's at $20 right now. I'll buy it to have a physical version.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others.
But the voices, the binaural audio is really cool in the with headphones in. And actually, with my my Razer phone too. Actually, the binaural audio, it's got stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, and it actually does binaural audio. Oh yeah, Bloodborne was the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my new game purchase a secret. Obviously, if you are friends with me on PlayStation, you probably be able to catch me playing it. If I like it a lot, it's gonna be a surprise game on my. It would, if it happened to make it into my top 5 games of the year, it would be a surprise to everyone. So right now I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss a lore stone. I don't remember exactly where they all are. I know there's one. This is her mother's face on the wall. I don't really care I don't need to see that one again. But I feel like I thought there was one. But I'm gonna pick up. I think I'm gonna pick up the Nathan Drake collection for $10 on the PS4. Watch some reviews, and they said the aiming and shooting mechanics are vastly improved, and that was the biggest weakness. Yeah, the 3D audio is everything. Everything people make it out to be. You can watch. I could link a video. I was watching on my phone. Actually, I watched 3 hours of Donkey videos last night and this morning, so I'd be hard pressed to find it. But it had, I think it was a full playthrough. All right, so I'm missing one in this. See that M? It looks like an M. And then if you look down in the what would be like 5 o'clock there's an M. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this area, and I missed one on my initial playthrough, so I got to find it. I think I know which one I missed. Let me check something real quick. I might be able to find a link to that video. And on my phone, I was getting the binaural, the 3D audio with just the speakers, but you plug in a headset, obviously, headphones, you're going to hear it. It's not going to be it's not going to be up to, like, the quality is obviously going to be compressed a bit, but the effect was still there. Damn, I watched a lot of Donkey videos. Yeah, it was a full playthrough. Yeah, there's a lot of videos to scroll through here. And I watched one to try to find something I missed. I don't think it was this one. No. Well, this wasn't the one with the audio anyway. So that just, oh great. Yeah, I'm not going to find it probably. It was definitely a full playthrough it wasn't the Switch version or anything. And it was just the game audio. There's no one talking. And it was like a 5-hour video, if I remember. Yeah, here it is. Oh no, this guy's talking. Fuck, I don't know. I found a video and it had the 3D audio in it. So anyway, let's get back to the game. And I'm running at 1080 with some settings toned down a little bit. So just shadows at medium. That's really it. Getting between. Average is probably 60, but it goes from 45 or 40. Yeah, 45 to 50 range. So I got this one. 45, 50 range to 70. So, like I said, the average is probably 60. One terabyte SD card is 200. That seems high. But I don't know what they're calling, what they usually go for. Goddamn mouse. So I had that one. What's up, Retro? That was the one I missed on the Switch version. I just gotta try not to. This section there isn't combat for quite a while. So there's like I said, she's still kind of injured, so this ain't much faster when she's fully healthy, but somewhere I missed one of the lore stones. 512 micro for 64. I mean, that seems like a way better deal. I'm not putting any more storage in my Switch. Only reason I spent money on it recently was just because I wanted to do the Joy-Cons just for my own entertainment, to see that I could do that. I don't really want to go on a rant about that kind of stuff, because it just bugs me to no end that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Black Friday, a lot of the other games dropped to 40, and that game's still $60. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense, other than to make the bundle that comes with Mario Kart look like a better deal. Like, so I feel like there's a lore stone somewhere around here. I think it's to the right here. Yeah, I don't know, this probably isn't a great game to watch somebody play, but there's definitely a lot of combat. I found this one too? Jesus Christ. So what? Oh, no. Yeah, I did. So then he tells you a story, and as you find each one you find, tells you another piece of that particular story. So there's 3 there, and I know there's... Is there only 2 up here? Fuck, I might have missed the very first one. The whole point of replaying this, well, not the whole point, but one of the biggest reasons I wanted to replay it was to find all of them.
How does he so effortlessly
This is one of those games where you can't walk at the camera. You can only back into it.
see the world through eyes anew and dance with it just like he does?
Dang it, I gotta mute this. Shout outs to Robert Gaming With Me's latest Back at the Backlog. You guys need to watch that shit. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I never thought he'd finish the game, so it's cool to see he did. Mute that. I forgot that this section had so many cinematics. I would have got through this before starting a stream. So anybody taking advantage of any sales, any game sales, whether it's Black Friday where you live or not? If you're in another country, I know they don't all do the same, but like I said, I'm probably getting the Nathan Drake collection. I was maybe get the Last of Us remastered on for $10 because I never played the DLC, the Ellie DLC, and that's for me. That's worth $10 right there just to play that. But I'd probably replay the game sometime before Last of Us 2 comes out. I finished Luigi's Mansion today and got all the gems and all the booze, and I didn't love the final fight with King Boo. I found it frustrating. I found the aiming with this when you suck up something and have to reshoot it gets kind of problematic. It's not very accurate, and I was just frustrated most of the fight. Starlink for 10 for my cousin. Yeah, Starlinks were $10. In the beginning, it's really very beginning. I was like, these controls are weird. I got used to the controls. I was like, all right, this game's pretty good. But then it just ran out of. They ran out of the ideas. Started to repeat, and all the planets started to repeat everything you were doing from the first planet. You were doing on every planet after that. And by the way, this isn't pre-rendered. I can go into photo mode and take a screenshot. On the Switch, these are pre-recorded video. And the reason the Switch file size is so high, we see how her arm. So depending on how many times you die, this blackness grows on her arm. And so when they use pre-rendered video, so if you went through the game and that rot was only up to your wrist, they have to have a video file for each progress of that black going up your arm. So that's why the file size is so damn huge. It's like almost 19 gigs. Let's get back here. But yeah, I was thinking about getting Xbox One X for $350 with Gears 5, but I just can't do it. I mean, it's a good price. What the hell is it? You have to mute the Hangouts, that's for sure. Do I have Hangouts open? Yep, that's why. Alright, so that shouldn't be coming through the audio anymore. Man, I'll be upset if I missed one of the lore stones. I know I got this one in the next one. I'd hate to have to run all the way back, and I think I might even. See, I got this one. So the one I need will be in red. It'll be an R that's red. Sorry, I'm heading back. So I'm not gonna play the game a third time and not get the full ending because I'd missed one again. So it's gonna be a long trek. This is about full run speed, and unless there's a section where you actually where it actually has you run. I don't know why it just doesn't let you do that at any time. It's kind of like the Batman camera perspective where the character takes up a large chunk of screen. I wouldn't mind it if it was like this or something. You know, that'd be fine with me. I don't know. I think you can change it. Graphics, audio controls, gamma. Combat difficulty, photo mode. Yeah, you can't. This is just on PC. What you had to ask? You think this is Switch? I don't know what you're watching on, but I mean it's fully playable on Switch on the Switch in dock mode. But like, I would say like this area here in the center, just above that brighter rock. On the Switch, anything past that, there's no texture. It's just a blur of muddiness. But they definitely, the things that need it have it. Like the character model's not bad. And when you get certain objects with like carvings, like some wood posts with carvings, they look really good. So portable mode though, it's in my opinion it's unplayable in portable mode. My eyes it's just there's too much blurriness going on, and with nothing to focus on. My eyes just got completely strained. Here it is, finally. So I gotta hear this because I never heard this story. Whoa! Stream close up. Anyone else use the glitch where you get close to an object and then move the camera to get closer views at character models? Alright, so I got that. I'm happy. Now we go back. There's no fast travel. There's no going. There's spots where you can't go back any further. There's chapters, like a cutscene happens and then the doors close behind you. You know, you can't go back to the beginning. It's a linear structure with some slight branching paths for just like finding those things. So it's not just walking you down an obvious path, but yeah, getting back to Luigi's Mansion 2, or 3. The King Boo boss fight was just frustrating to me. And then after I beat it, I thought I'd just be able to just resume. And if I had missed any boos or any gems, I could go back and find them. Well, it took me back to the main menu. And I clicked on the save file, and it was at the boss fight, which you can't go back. And I'm like, oh, for a second there, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't expect this. And then I exited the game, and I was like, well, there's 3 options when you select a save file. So let me check. And the one below that was the save for the previous area right before the boss fight. So it let me access that. And so I could go back into the hotel, and that's when I went and sucked up the film director and watched his final video. But for a second there, I thought, shit, if I got all the gems and stuff, but if I hadn't, if there was something else I wanted to do, I would have been bummed if it didn't have that option. So I'm glad that they did. So there'll be some combat coming up. I'm just checking my message real quick. And I can't have the chat on screen like normal. The only way would be to have it over the game because this new beta stream thing. Oh, this isn't the combat. It's after I get the sword. But this new beta thing doesn't work with that code that lets your guys' chat be on screen like in the usual Juice Opinions or podcasts. All right, so we got 7 people here. Bluntsy, what's up? One White Kong. We got Retro Laker Link. Cool, hasn't been chat messaging in a while, but yeah, thanks you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. And this is Hellblade, about a third of the way through. This is when the performance that this Melina Jurgens won for the Game Awards. It's one of the few things the Game Awards have gotten right, in my opinion, other than Breath of the Wild winning Game of the Year. At this point in the game, you start seeing why she won, because it's pretty incredible. And then you consider, I love this tree, by the way. I forgot to pause and look at it. So you focus in, and then everything's happening in her mind. So all the stuff that supposedly happening is all in her mind. So now there's 4 little challenge. There's 4 areas, and they're all completely different things you have to do to like complete this quest to get so you can get that sword. And I'm trying to remember which one is the first one. We'll find out in a second. Oh, this one. Okay. So this one has a cool mechanic that's not used in any other part of the game. A lot of this game's like that, where you don't reuse, it doesn't recycle ideas other than the main idea of getting finding runes shapes in the world to unlock a door. Again, it's all in her head. So that bridge is gone. I can't access. And this one is up, so I'd have to get to that other side. So if I look through this, it actually takes me to almost like the light world in Zelda. And again, this is all in her head. So, but for the game, for the mechanics, this is, now you can climb up here. You got a door. I know the door's locked, but just show you. If you hit A, here's a lower stone. I got it already. The Northmen tell this story. So it's a B. So I got all the ones in this one. If you look, so if I would have went to another area first, I missed 2, but on this one, I know I got them all, so I don't have to try that hard. I don't have to look for them, really. So here's the rune, the locked door thing. So there's a shape. Now I have to find this shape in the world. It makes it hard to miss. The screen lights up with all the runes and stuff, letting you know you're close. So now I can go up here, go back into the regular realm. And if you look, see how there's a gate there? And now there's no gate. So it's not like the most advanced puzzle solving. I mean, I've this is my third time through, so I know what I'm doing. And I just recently did this on the Switch, so now this gate is open, and then there's no path. They could have made it where you had to maybe explore a little bit, but now I'm back in the light world. See, that gate's closed, but now I can go in here. So I gotta find this shape, and I believe it's on the ground. Yeah, it's right there. So then you just find a similar shape, and now that door's unlocked, but I gotta find a, I think, yeah, everything else is blocked off. It's kind of backtracky at times, but like I can open this door now. And then I can open this door so I don't have to go back the same way I came. But yeah, overall, getting back to Luigi's Mansion 3, like I still love the game, and just final boss was just a bit of a letdown, I would say, compared to how good the game is. But it's definitely a contender. Let's just say it's a contender for Game of the Year for me. Should be nominated for Best Art Direction. Isn't. Probably could have got it for sound design and music and score, but you know, whoops. But you know how it goes. Somebody reminded me, I forgot all about it. 2017, PUBG was nominated for Game of the Year along with Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. I mean, even Horizon Zero Dawn I could slightly understand. And fucking PlayerUnknown's Battleground, that trash ass game, got nominated for Game of the Year just because it was the popular game. It was the game. The Battle Royale craze, the beginning. Open the door, dabbit. So then you get opened up to a new gameplay mechanic, or not really gameplay mechanic, puzzle solving mechanic, where you have these shapes you have to line up. I just want to make sure that I am looking at the right. Yep. So it's all jarbled there, and I just got to find the spot where everything lines up, and then focus in. And should be getting close. There we go. And then it fixed it. So in her mind, you know, that was broken, but in reality, it was fine. But it's actually nice to not have to be getting distracted by combat and stuff like a game like Doom or like Bayonetta or something. Astral Chain or something would be. Even Resident Evil 2, like shooting the zombies. I tried recording a video talk about that game while I was playing it, and I just couldn't. Alright, so let me know that the arrow is around here. Obviously, I found it right away, but you're not always finding them instantly.
Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go. And she was caught between two worlds.
Yeah, but if anybody has any questions or anything, you know, it's kind of just a spontaneous live stream. Open to any types of discussions. Retro Death, him and I are having a little debate, but you're not here to like explain what you meant. So I'm just gonna give kind of my thoughts on the Switch from a power standpoint, and yeah, obviously Luigi's Mansion, you know, built for the Switch from probably maybe not. Yeah, I'd say probably the whole thing from the ground up. Um, looks amazing, right? You know, no one can deny it. But you can't just compare how good Luigi's Mansion looks to something like Breath of the Wild because they're doing two completely different things. One has a fixed camera with a fixed distance from all the textures and stuff. There's no close-ups. Um, but even though it's a Wii U game, taking that Wii U game and bumping up to 900p and trying to have a steady frame rate takes everything the Switch has as far as GPU and CPU and RAM. The Switch is doing everything it can to run that game at 900p, 30 frames per second. But what it isn't doing is taking full advantage of everything the Switch can do. So there's a difference between pushing the hardware with what particular game you have, game engine like Hellblade, for instance, on Switch. The fan was just kicking. I was pulling it off from dock to TV mode, or from dock to portable mode, back and forth, just to judge how the game looked back and forth. And that fan was just pumping hot air out. And that game Hellblade looks, really blurry. But it's pushing the Switch hardware for everything it has. But the results aren't a good looking game like Luigi's Mansion. So it's just, a game that's optimized for a particular system and doesn't have to worry about another system, having it run on. They can take full advantage. But it's still pushing the Switch just as much. Luigi's Mansion definitely fan kicks on a shit ton. That game's pushing the Switch and taking advantage of the hardware because it was designed to. But it's pushing it the same level that Breath of the Wild is, and Hellblade and Doom, and probably I don't know about Mario Odyssey, but it's straining the system the same amount, but it's not taking advantage of all the things the little things you could tweak if you made a game specifically for Switch. I mean, so there's a difference, but all these games are making the actual hardware. Well, the basis was RetroDesk saying that Breath of the Wild being a Wii U game demonstrates the least the Switch can do graphically, just because it's a Wii U game. And that's just, it's not true. Snipper Clips is using the Switch hardware way less than Breath of the Wild. So, but at the same time, if they made a Zelda game from the ground up, not using the Breath of the Wild engine, and designed one from the ground up, but use a similar art style, and Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever would look better. There's no doubt. And I think Breath of the Wild 2 will look better even using the same engine, just tweaked. And it doesn't have as much to do with not having to support the Wii U, because all they'd have to do is run the game at 720p and it'd probably run on the Wii U, So it's just kind of there's a lot of nuance to it. It's like Ori and the Blind Forest is what's up, Roy? Ori and the Blind Forest and Cuphead were designed for the Xbox One hardware, but then they put them to Switch, and there's no sacrifices. It's not pushing the Switch at all, especially Cuphead. I won't say at all, but it's there's no sacrifices needed, and it runs on the Switch just fine, 60 frames per second, 1080p. So it doesn't matter what generation or what console a game was designed for. It can still either, there could be you could take GTA 4 from the early early days of the 360 and try to run that on Switch at 1080p 60, and it's going to push the hardware to the max because it's not it was never designed for that particular architecture, and that, with the lower clock speed, but a good GPU and way more memory, way more RAM, it's still gonna really push the hardware if that's what they tried to do. I mean, we've seen other games from the 7th gen that are struggling on Switch. It's because you try to just take this game and brute force 1080p when it's a completely different was designed for a high clock speed CPU, that could handle a lot more than the Switch. Switch's CPU's technically more modern, but it just doesn't have the clock speed to keep up with what those games were designed around. So it's going to look bad. Even at 1080, it's not going to look like a current gen game, but to get it brute force running on the Switch, it's going to push the hardware, So I hope I made that clear. So, but if they built a new Saints Row game from scratch, exclusive to the Switch, it would look significantly better than, let's say, Saints Row the Third, and should run better. But when it comes to Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild's doing, even on the Wii U version, is doing way more than Saints Row the Third, So it's just all relative to what the game was designed for, what are they trying to do, and also you got to factor in the Switch in portable mode is the same power as the Wii U. So it's not like this even a game designed fully for the Switch can get away from that that power limitation of portable mode. So there's always going to be that holding back. Now, if they could make a game designed from the ground up for docked only, using the full clock speed of docked and not having to worry about portable mode, then we'd see even better results with an exclusive title. So, and it's not like I'm stating opinions here. I mean, that's just how it works. I mean, but then saying that, let's see. Let me read Terrell's comment. I think RetroDeath could say that Breath of the Wild isn't the most optimized, but I don't think his statement makes sense as is. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely meant to grab people's attention, I think, but it's not the most optimized, but they also had 2 years to optimize it, because when they said that, when they made the decision was what? Late 2015, early 2016, so maybe only a year, but they definitely had time to get as much out of the Switch as they could. And then the other thing to talk, the other factor is, they could take Breath of the Wild 2, they take the game engine, all right, we want to add way more screen space reflections, like how there's not a spot here where a puddle on the ground reflects the actual environment. That's a really modern visual technique. And then they could add, we're going to put a nice anti-aliasing on so that, you don't have any jaggies. And then you're like, well, to do that, we'll have to have the game run at 720p with adaptive resolution. I mean, they could achieve that at a lower resolution, or they could push for just keep it at 900, or maybe try to do 1080, and maybe just not have as many of the modern advanced feature sets. So they could just bump up. I got to figure out where I'm at here. All right, so I missed one in this area. All right, so how did I forget how I have to solve this? I think now that door is open. Yep. Yeah, I haven't been talking about it. See how this has a completely... This puzzle solving technique was used in one of the other areas, but these little 4 quests you have to get this sword are all very unique from one another. It looks lined up to me, dude. just got to make sure I find that other lore stone. And I'm not even like coming from a place of like disappointment or anger. Like, if Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't happen to look vastly superior, I'm fine, because I already think Breath of the Wild. Roy Relapse posted a video. Yeah, I caught the Lions game. Roy posted a video of Breath of the Wild earlier on Twitter, and I'm just like, Jesus, that fucking world just still takes my breath away. Like, pun intended. All right, I gotta see if I can find a lore stone over here. It'd be really cool. Damn it. I feel like I'm missing one. I thought it was over here. Nope. Fuck. Pretty sure once I go in that house, everything changes. And I can't come back out. Lots of invisible walls in this game, but since it's not trying to be open world, it doesn't feel as limiting. It's crazy. I just played this a few days ago, and I'm already struggling to find that stupid. It's almost like I gotta go through this again to make something appear, because that's the one. Yeah, so again, if anybody has any questions or any topic ideas or anything you want me to talk about, go feel free. If you're just enjoying watching me play this, that's fine too. God, I have such the worst memory when it comes to gaming. Like, I just did this like 3 days ago, and I found the S that I needed, and I was like, I swear it was like, all right, I can go in the house now. I found what I was looking for. It might be in the house too. I just want to exhaust every possibility. If I missed it though, I'll be bummed. Oh, it's right there. Cool. See, now I got that left side there, right here.
But he was afraid of the dark. It happened one night that an undead creature came to his house to drag him outside into darkness and kill him.
Screen space reflections right there on the ground. See how the door, the runes.
Spilled out of the house, and the monster fell back, and the moon shone down on its ghastly face. Grettir, terrified, cuts off its head, but is cursed.
I don't know why I just like how she sidesteps.
From that moment on, wherever he was, he would see those hideous eyes staring back at him.
Expectations on Game Awards. Nintendo Wise reveals. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Game Awards juice opinions, probably maybe even the day of. And my goal is to predict what Death Stranding's gonna win. Will it win all the nominations? Will it not? Yeah, the Switch version looks great, don't it? So this is like Belrog of Mordok here. Terrell, I'm glad you're here. You know that it's the Belrog of Mordok. So I gotta find these runes while dodging this son of a bitch. This is actually a pretty cool spot. And they let her run a little bit more. Oh. So this is probably one of the better sections in the game. Which way you going, brah? Which way you going? Oh shit. If he gets too close, you just burn and die. Shut your mouth, woman. Let's go. I'll read that question in a second. This is the only real like action moment not involving combat. Wow, I found that one. Found those way quicker this time. Now I gotta find the door. Oh shit, you fucker. Where you going, bro? Where's my sword? It broke, you dumbass. Oh. I'm lost. There it is. Run. No. Uh-oh. Get it. That was close. What third-party game would you want Nintendo to revive? Damn. So it has to be a dead franchise. I'd say not really Nintendo, but I'd love somebody to fucking do a proper new Dead Space. As far as Nintendo, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Like I said earlier, for those that have joined, like this point in the game, you start really understanding why she won for best performance at the Game Awards. One of the few awards that actually was like legitimate. They got it right.
They're just people.
I wonder if I can.
Good people.
Yeah, I can't pause this. Some of the cutscenes you can go into photo mode, but
They're afraid of what they can't see.
yeah, they have a long list of their own dead IPs to revive. Good one, Roy. Let's do make everybody happy. Do a proper F-Zero game. Do a proper wave race. Don't do some fucking quick little like small budget game and charge $60 for it. Do a full fucking proper games F-Zero with up to like 32 players online or maybe 16. Amazing visuals, amazing audio, and just do it. Just do it. So as far as third parties though, I don't have a whole lot of third party. Like I don't never been a big third party guy. I mean, I'm more of always kind of been a first party exclusives on whatever system, but if I'll try to think of some over there. All right, so I got 2 more of these to go. Anybody never seen footage of this game before? Look at how that, like I said, the screen space reflection. See how the sky and that reflect in the water? You know, you start doing stuff like that, and you have the trade-off. Like I said earlier, you could have Breath of the Wild 2 have more advanced stuff, but drop down to 720p. Or you could have it stay 900p, clean up, maybe get rid of the frequent haziness. I think was a way they got Breath of the Wild 2 running at 900p. Is going back to the game, I've noticed there's a lot more haziness in the world. Kind of drowning out, the details in the distance. And I'd rather just have them keep it at 900, lock it at 30 frames. I don't want no more dips, no more stutters, and clean up the draw distance, get rid of the haziness, and that's all they need to do. So this is one of the best looking areas in the game. I took multiple screenshots of this on the Switch and on PC. And I mean, I have see how quick this camera moves? I made the joke that on Switch, the photo mode runs at like 10 frames per second. Like, this ain't super fast. Oops. But this is so much faster. Like, I can turn the camera forward and back and turn at the same time. It's on Switch. It's more like this. It plays like that instead of like this. But I do really like this character model. The actress looks a lot like this. She's a very attractive woman. And I'm a sucker for European accents, so she's got everything that I like. Anybody hear about Destiny FOMO saying she's going to sell her fake game collection? I was in the Juice Loose chat. Someone mentioned that. Talked about it on the podcast how I feel like that's some wealthy dude's nerdy dude that has money or always spends all his money on his game collection. Maybe he's wealthy because all that cash, for those that have seen those videos. And my guess is her selling her game collection is just their YouTube idea didn't pan out like they thought or something. I don't fucking know. That girl is such a fraud. That channel is such a fraud. Just be the spokesperson for someone's channel. Get views. Just be honest about it. Like you don't gotta lie and pretend like it's her collection or anything. It's just that shit's just stupid. All right, somebody just left to go watch a Destiny FOMO video. All right, so this one has me going in the dark, and it's another completely unique puzzle mechanic. Not at this part, but because you do this later on. You gotta find the torches and then light them. It's a bit of a maze. It's one of those where it's like, I'm not sure how this puzzle works, but I just eventually work my way through it. So I like that. So now I have a path I think it's all blocked this way.
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me? Just wait there. I'll find you.
Maybe Nintendo could revive the BioShock franchise. Certain things is just like, it's just not Nintendo's cup of tea. It's like they would take a game, and if you don't have the mindset of the person who creates, especially like BioShock, like that's just takes a unique mindset to design those games. They tried to make a sequel without using Ken Levine or whatever, and it was just an imitation of BioShock 1. It was a poor imitation. I'm already lost. Again, I just did this like a few days ago. What am I missing? So I can't go this way, or maybe I can. Nope. I can't go that way. And you can't run with the torch, if you're wondering. Alright, so that's the exit. That's where I came in. There we go. Jesus.
I'll find him.
I know there's a lore stone. Yep. See, I didn't find this one last time.
Within the burial mound, Hervor calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his
See all this like carvings in this wood? Like that, they did a pretty good job with these textures on the Switch version, but then these rocks would look atrocious. So now that I've fully experienced the game, dock, and it's one of the games where if portable mode represented the only way to play, I'd say it wasn't worth putting on the Switch, because that's how bad it is for me in portable mode. And it's not about playability. It's not. Well, it is, because it's a strain on the eyes, and I couldn't even solve a puzzle because the texture was so fucking blurry. I couldn't even tell what I needed to do. I couldn't see the rune shape on the ground. So I mean, it did affect the game. And having strained eyes. What's up, Alex? Happy Thanksgiving. Having strained eyes definitely takes away. I think this is the way it came. Takes away from the experience of playing a game. Like if it's so blurry that your eyes are trying to focus the whole time and you get strained, to me that's affecting the game, affecting the gameplay, affecting the experience. And it's just the way it is. God damn it, I came from here. Like I said, I don't retain this kind of stuff. That's why I could play a game. I could play this 2 years from now, and it'd be like playing a brand new game, because I wouldn't remember half the things. All I know is I want to find that last lower stone before I get to the exit. Oh, I got this one.
Hervor disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse
Sorry,
place by day.
it's hard for me to talk even when I'm not listening, when something else is being said.
There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly
But
flames.
just I was thinking, like I said earlier, about getting Xbox One X for $350, and I was like, well, what will I play on? Well, Ori and the Will of the Wisp is the main reason I'd get it, so I could play that in 4K, probably HDR on my OLED, and I think it would be fucking gorgeous. I definitely need to find one more thing, but I don't know. Even at that price, if I could get $100 for my old Xbox, I mean it's $250. I got $200 cash from some stuff I sold recently, and I just don't know. I don't know if I need the X with Scarlet coming out. I don't think I'd buy that anytime soon. So it's I don't know. Yeah, I'd definitely buying the PS5, but Scarlet's a whole another story, because I don't care about Microsoft's games. I don't care about Halo. I'm not a Gears fan. Forza Horizon 5 would be a reason though. But will that be playable on the Xbox One like they're claiming? Damn it. I know that last one's in here. I just got to find it. Oh, it's right there. Derp. All right, so I found it. Cool. Now I just got 2 more at the very end of the game. Yeah, PS5 is probably a day one for me. Mostly, and I know some gamers, some purists are gonna hate hearing me say this, but I specifically bought the 2019 LG OLED over any other TV because it has full HDMI 2.1 support, which brings up to 4K, 120 frames per second, 8K. Well, I don't have 8K TV, but 60. It has auto low latency mode, auto detects a video game system. It has a variable refresh rate, and right now I don't have anything that takes advantage of it. Now, if I had a graphics card that was more powerful, I could hook that up and get the variable refresh rate advantage, but so the door's this way. But I specifically bought this TV to be future proofed and be able to play. I'm assuming. I mean, it's an assumption, but I think I'd bet money that it's going to come to pass that the PS5 is going to support HDMI 2.1. Yeah, the TV was expensive. It's a lot less expensive right now, but I already threw my money at it, and I got to live with that. But PS5, I'm guessing is gonna be 400, maybe 500. But I'm like, if I get that, I don't really need to upgrade my graphics card because I won't be buying PC games. I mean, I have this nice TV, and I really want to kind of focus on doing all my gaming on it. I feel like I'm in the right spot now. Damn it, I've already been here. The only problem is I'll need a new surround receiver because my game systems run through a surround sound receiver for my 5.1 setup and then go to the TV. So I'll have to have a new receiver too, but what the fuck? I'm lost. It's a lot of slow walking here. It is a walking simulator. I feel like I gotta go right. I've already been there. I might just have to end this game and just do a normal Juice Opinions here because this probably isn't fun to watch. I'm like, oh, new area? And then I'll see a fucking torch. Yeah, we're going around in circles, bitch. Just said that. I feel like this is a new area. I just went in a circle. Oh yeah, so it's some excellent food. I think I need to follow the audio. I think that's why I'm getting messed up. I mean, I know I have to follow the audio. So I'm going to have to be quiet for a little bit and try to follow these screams. Okay, it's getting louder. Jeez, that was easy. Anybody Canada, do they celebrate Thanksgiving? I mean, it's part of America. Wasn't just the United States celebration. It's just nice to have 2 days off of work every year. Have some good food. Okay, so there's a lit thing there, so I'll go this way. Oh, Bellrock's back. I have a poll up, by the way, on Twitter. Forgot to check it. It's been a while. I don't know if you saw Clockdit's video. There was a big debate about fucking oops. Damn it. I don't know what that's gonna look like now. Let me check the OBS feed. There we go. Roy Relapse, look at it. Look at my boy here. Breath of the Wild. Fucking phenomenal. It's low quality on Twitter, but. So I did a poll because of this debate. And it was all about, and I'll put it in the chat. It was all about OJ making fun of somebody who's mad about the rumored Super Metroid port. And it's got 60 votes. And basically he was saying, you can still play the old game while you're mad. Which is fine. The person who was complaining, why port Super Metroid? It's perfect. Or Morgoth, yeah. It's perfect. Why remake it? That's a valid statement. OJ felt very compelled to challenge that, and then clocked it said, well, no matter what, you make a remake, an old game, and it in some way is going to diminish the original. And it's like, it's just so difficult, to get a point across on Twitter. And it's like, yeah, that's true. I mean, I have absolutely no intention of ever playing my PS2 copy of Shadow of the Colossus, because the remake is the same game, literally the base code of the PS2 game, and they just put a new graphics engine on top of it. So it's the same game. If you could get the PS2 version running at 30 frames per second locked, you could probably, and have one controller sync to both systems, let's say on the PS3 and the PS4, you could play the new Shadow of the Colossus and the old one. And I think you could play them, and they'd on two separate TVs and with one controller, and I think they would be in the exact same spot at the end of the game. That's literally how close. I mean, that's where a remake is at the lowest, not quality-wise, but just the lowest. It's the closest to the original as you can get, period, other than just a port. Like, it's like a port with just a new graphics engine slapped on top. You know, it's the same wonky animations, the same sluggish controls. So I asked about Metroid. It's like, it's been 17 years since we had a completely new 2D Metroid game. All we've had was 2 remakes on handheld systems. And now you want to remake another 2D Metroid game instead of giving us a new one. So here's the poll. 82%. I don't know why. I just don't understand, unless you don't have faith that they could make a new one good. Fusion was great. That's the last new one we got. It was great. Why would you want a Super Metroid remake? It's playable right now on the Switch with the online. So I don't understand that. Let's see if I can get the game back up without it being blank. All right, why is it shrunk? It shrunk. Let's see. Maybe because it was. All right, back. We're back. So yeah, go check out that poll. Let me my chat window. What the hell? What's going on? Might have to pop the chat out again because I can't see the bottom. I got to run the game at I'm running the game at 1080, which because my screen's 1440, it does something wonky with my other screen. Come on. All right, I had to close it. Now I got to re-pop it out. I pop it out so I can move it as close, so I don't have to look way to the side. I can have it as close to the... Yeah, just imagine a brand new 2D Metroid game fucking on the Switch. Yeah, Super Metroid would look beautiful, and it's a great game, but even with my memories, my recollection of playing a game, a lot of things I'd probably have to re-figure out. It's still the same game that I've played, 3 times all the way through since 2002. I played it, well, no, only twice all the way through. I played it on, did you catch that video Terrell reacted to in his Game Awards video? No. What are you talking about? Did he react to the nominations? I never watched that video. It never popped up for me. And I've been on a donkey binge.
I think I can beat it. In my own way.
So this is definitely what this girl's never been an actor, never acted in her life, and pulled off this performance.
No,
He said he could help me.
it's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal.
Yeah, the remakes, I mean,
No
it's a
boy
shorter development cycle.
to save you. No one can.
So all they have to do is make the game, decide a art style, and remake the levels. It's like me when I remade my Mario Maker 2 levels, or Mario Maker 1 levels in Mario Maker 2. I just copied and pasted. Took a couple hours. Creating a level from scratch took like a week.
You're going nowhere.
So I get why they want to do it. But at some point, you got to draw the line and say, all right, quit relying on remakes. Quit relying on old games.
Come, child.
Yeah, we talked about that, Endu. I never seen it, so I don't know.
I am leaving.
I never did see that. I really don't care. What was it even about again? I forget.
Your curse will make everyone suffer.
But it's just, we've had Link's Awakening, we're getting Xenoblade Chronicles, and Pokemon Let's Go is technically a remake. In less than 3 years, we've had three remakes, and then we've had, well, that won't be. We don't know when Xenoblade Chronicles, but it's going to be around the 3-year mark by the time Xenoblade Chronicles comes out on the Switch, and that'll be 8 Wii U ports from Nintendo as well. And it's like within 3 years, like, yeah, we got a bunch of new games. OJ's biggest. The point in his favor is, yeah, we've got a bunch of new games already on Switch, already. Under 3 years, we've already had quite a few new games. And my nose is itching. So yeah, you're right. But that doesn't justify porting all these Wii U games, and especially for full price. Like, I wouldn't even be talking about this if these games were $40 when they launched, and maybe $20, $30 on Black Friday type of thing. Like, these are old games. Most of them weren't even full price by the time before the Switch came out. Tropical Freeze was a player's choice game. It was $20. New Super Mario Bros. U was probably, I'm pretty sure, was a $20 player's choice. I'm not 100% on that one. I know, like, Pikmin 3 and stuff. Like, how do you go from $20 to put it on Switch? You had one little easy mode. Shit, I was reading Roy's. For doing it. And then think you're going to charge $60? I mean, yeah, right now it's $40. That's the right price for new. Should be the regular price. And if it dropped to $30 or $25, I would pick it up. But people didn't play these games. The Wii U was a failure. So what? Tropical Freeze came out in early 2014. It was done in 2013. And it come out in 2014. What year is it? It's 29. It's about to be 2020. We're going to be at the 6-year anniversary in 3 months of Tropical Freeze coming out. 2 months and 3 weeks will be at the 6-year anniversary of Tropical Freeze. Don't you want a new fucking game? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why that's okay. Well, they're still giving us new games. We got Fire Emblem Warrior, or Fire Emblem Hero, or Three Houses. We've gotten Octopath. We've gotten what other new games? Astral Chain. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. It just bugs me that they filled 2018 with 40 Wii U ports and then all charge $60 for them. It just that's the point of contention for me. Charging $60 for them, especially when the company I normally consider the greedy company, Sony, they'll give you a remaster of 3 games that comes out at $60 but quickly goes to $40. They'll give you a full remake of a classic game and charge $40. That medieval game looks like trash, but I'm guessing it's not going to be $60. I have no idea where I'm going. Yeah, and has Retro been working on anything? I'm following my the vibrations, by the way, if you're wondering. My controller vibrates when I'm heading in the right direction. Oh, wow. YouTube is not receiving enough video. You guys seeing it on your end? Did I finally... Is this all this black... Finally, Did it finally do the game in? Do the stream in? Looks like it. Alright, so we will minimize. That. Let me bring up OBS. Oh, I forgot to turn off. I didn't even have the game capture on. That was just capturing the display. That's probably why it was. It's probably why it was messed up, but yeah, it was just strictly display capture there. But I've done and played enough. I mean, I could watch. Yeah, I think it's because I had the game capture unchecked for visibility and I was just running off the display. But either way, there's a lot of black on the screen. It was probably having trouble handling that, because that's dark stuff's definitely the hardest stuff for compression and everything. So let me check this video you linked. Why is it trying to open it in the chat? Come on, open link in new tab. Oh, that's the one I sent. Where's the one Terrell sent? It popped up the fucking... There we go. Now it's just sent. Just says YouTube Studio. So something... That link you sent, Terrell, just it won't work. Either way, we've been on for a bit. I'll probably end this, and then I just was curious if how another game would run. It's saying it's still not receiving enough content. But I don't even have the game running, so... Alright, I'm gonna call it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna end the stream and enjoy the rest of your holiday and weekend. And we'll see you next time.